What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another transfer update video on this Sunday. Obviously, we've had to watch all the other teams play this weekend. Arsenal play against Crystal Palace on Monday. I'll be doing a live watch along for that. And obviously, Tottenham beat Manchester United yesterday, and Man City beat Newcastle. So, you know, some interesting results. I think we can all see that Man City are the team to beat. 4 goals scored, none conceded. They're not missing Kevin De Bruyne at the moment. Let's talk transfers when it comes to Arsenal, people. And one player being linked with a move to Arsenal today. That is French international defender Jules Kounde of Barcelona. Now, obviously, Jurrien Timber is going to be out potentially for the whole season. Arsenal looking at potential replacements. Now, one player that we were looking at, João Cancelo, is close to joining Barcelona. That in turn has led to the possibility of Jules Kounde being surplus to requirements at Barcelona. Now, Xavi spoke about him last week and said, look, you know, he's somebody that is in his plans, but you never know what's going to happen in the transfer window. Jules Kounde, who Chelsea very much were trying to sign last summer, has been at Barcelona, French international, can play at right back, can play at centre back, very quick. Saw him in pre-season over there in LA, preferably a centre back, but has been used at right back quite a lot. He is quick. It's believed he could cost around 40 to 45 million pounds to get out of Barcelona. Obviously, they've got financial difficulties at the moment. They're struggling to bring in new players, which may mean that some players have to go. We've seen Ousmane Dembele leave. They are trying to get João Felix. Would you take Jules Kounde at Arsenal? Good centre-back, somebody that I think... Listen, I think he'd be a good signing for Arsenal under these circumstances. He does have pace, can play at centre-back, can play at right-back, although I wouldn't say he's a specialist right-back. And we are in a situation where time is running out. We have less than 2 weeks until the transfer window closes. And Jules Kounde seems to be the main man being linked with Arsenal at the moment. Let me know in the comments if you would be happy with that signing. Personally, I think I'd take him. I do think he's decent. Anyway, let's move on. Somebody that isn't leaving Arsenal at the moment but does look to be on his way out is Nuno Tavares. He has rejected a move to fellow Premier League side Nottingham Forest. Forest apparently wanted to bring him in on a permanent deal or a loan with an obligation to buy. There were rumours they were willing to pay up to £30 million with add-ons, which is crazy really for a player of Nuno Tavares' ability level at the moment. He does have talent but hasn't really produced a consistent season yet. Did do well at Marseille for the first half of the season, playing in that left wing-back role, faded towards the end, and he's rejected a move to Forest. Fabrizio Romano confirming that he has a number of other options. Apparently, up to 5 clubs have made offers for Nuno Tavares, which is, you know, fair play to him. Even though maybe Arsenal fans, we don't fully rate him, there are clearly clubs out there that think that he has talent and they can build on that. So looks as if he's going to choose somewhere else. We should find out in the next week or so where that is. Nuno Tavares looks to be heading to the exit door. Didn't feature for Arsenal in pre-season. And looks as if he'll be going elsewhere. Going to be interesting to see what that club is that he goes to. I thought Forest would have been a decent move for him, but clearly he has bigger and better options. If we could get 20 to 30 million pounds for him, I think would be fantastic business for a player we paid only 8 million pounds for. Let me know in the comments about that one. And third and finally, following Balogun being linked with a move to rivals Chelsea. Now, this is an interesting one because Balogun, you know, he's been in training with the first team all week. Be interesting to see whether he's on the bench against Crystal Palace. Looks quite happy in the videos. You're thinking, is there a possibility of him staying? But Chelsea apparently have made a concrete inquiry about signing him. Now, I'm always reluctant to sell to teams around us that could potentially be challenging us. But the reality is, if he doesn't want to sign a new contract, the manager doesn't want to play him or doesn't want to keep him as a regular, you know, maybe he'll be third or fourth choice, which isn't something Balogun wants. if Chelsea are there and they're willing to pay big money, you may have no option but to sell him there. Now, I know as a fan, personally, from my point of view, the worry is always selling him there and he becomes a big success. You're going to feel a little bit silly. I think you've got to charge Chelsea a little bit more money than your asking price. We know Arsenal want around £50 million. I'd be asking for a little bit more. We know that Chelsea are not cash strapped. They paid £88 million for Mudryk, who'd had one good season in the Ukrainian league, although he was in the Champions League. I think you've got to be looking for maybe £60 million for Balogun. If it's Chelsea, I would also be looking for a sell-on clause as well. Maybe even a buyback clause. Structure that deal to make sure it works for Arsenal. Me personally, I've said time and time again, I think Arsenal need a striker, whether that's going and buying somebody else or keeping Balogun. I'm not sure what the best option is, but selling Balogun and not signing a striker would leave me a little bit concerned. I'm still not sure whether a slightly injury-prone Jesus and Enquire, that to me is not quite at the level, a Havertz that hasn't really shown it as a striker, Trossard, who is not an out-and-out striker naturally, still think we're a little bit short of options there. So if Chelsea do want him, I would charge a little bit more. And I would definitely put a sell-on clause in there as well. Let me know in the comments, would you be willing to sell Balogun to Chelsea? And how much would you charge them? I reckon 60 million plus a sell-on clause. And I think Arsenal would struggle to say no to that. When you consider our highest sale is £40 million. If you could get 60 million for a youth team product, I don't see the Kroenke saying no to that. And finally, Konstantinos Mavropanos. Remember him? Big tall centre-back, Greek international, went back to Germany, has done well, and he is on his way to West Ham. 25 million euros, around 21 million pounds. He is the alternative signing to Harry Maguire. That deal collapsed. They are buying him. Arsenal have a 10% sell-on clause. See, really, Arsenal only got around £3.5 million for him when they sold him. That sell-on clause should have been higher than 10%. They'll get 2.5 million euros, which is just over £2 million for Mavropanos. Good luck to him at West Ham. Don't do too well against Arsenal, though, of course. Let me know in the comments about what we've spoken about today. Would you take Jules Kounde? Tavares looks as if he's on his way out. Balogun, would you sell him to Chelsea and for how much? And Mavropanos goes to West Ham. Arsenal get 2.5 million. Enjoy Sunday, people, and I will be back on live stream tomorrow for the game. Arsenal against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Big game. I'll have a preview out in the morning. Look forward to the watch along. Take care, everyone. Bless.